And we are live. So, welcome to episode 292, 292 of An American Werewolf. I am Michael Martin, the American Werewolf. In the house tonight, we've got Casey Jones at watcherspeed.com. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me. 292. I remember when it was 2.
That's exactly right. The only thing missing from this movie was bad music. So, yeah, okay. And we've got, looking very festive this evening, we've got John K. Alvarez in the Christmas spirit, or as the ladies call him, Johnny Santa.
Nice.
Okay, so deck the halls, joyous Yuletide to you, my good friend. Nice to see you.
How, baby.
All right. So this is the final episode of 2025. It doesn't feel like it, except for the fact that it's freezing out. I was just thinking this before we went on, that it feels like we were just crossing the 4th of July, just in terms of the year.
Yeah.
I can't believe we're at the end of the year already. Summer went by way too quickly. For the show, it feels like we were just starting the summer of Kurosawa.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't really believe that it's been like practically 6 months since we've covered a horror film, although we did drop into that very quickly again for October.
Yeah.
But between the summer of Kurosawa and now this new format of directors, the show's taken on a different direction, which I am enjoying very much.
I'm looking forward to covering the works of Billy Walsh.
I don't know that name off the top of my head, but maybe we'll get
should. He did Medellin.
All right, I still don't know what that is, but
okay.
Right.
It's a reference you don't get. It's fine. Some of us know cinema, some of us don't. But Vincent Chase.
So unfortunately for Bill, we've had a technical.
We had a train wreck.
Exactly. I'm sorry, were you saying something? I wasn't listening.
How dare you? I mentioned Vincent Chase and things went awry.
Awry, it went out.
Train went off the tracks, buddy.
At least someone committed to the bit tonight.
Thank you.
All right, so here we are, not just the final show of the year, but the final film for December in terms of our director, Robert Zemeckis. And that means I'm talking about the Polar Express. Mm-hmm. So I've got a lot to say about this. If you guys are ready, shall we get it going?
Toot.
Boogie woogie. So,
nice new intro, Mikey.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
This is my first time watching this movie. It came with a sort of reputation of a lot of people talking about it, and I didn't listen to any of it. but I just knew that a lot of people knew this movie. And they're like, "Oh, the Polar Express." Da, 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 da. So I watched it just before we came on, and I should say right now that this film is streaming, I think, on Disney Plus and on HBO. I was at a thrift shop last week and happened to just find a Blu-ray for $2, so I was happy about that. And then I watched it, and I just kept saying to myself, "What kind of fucked up movie is this?" Because it's like somewhere between Willy Wonka and like Rosemary's Baby. Because through the whole fucking movie, I just kept getting the impression that like something is off. Like I'm expecting like someone to just leap around the corner and like cement this whole thing together. And then it gets to the end, and I'm not saying it's not. It's a good ending. It's a good ending. But throughout a large portion of this film, I would say right up until the end where the train starts to go back home, you're like, what the fuck is going on here? And I kept thinking, Jesus, if this was like 35 years ago and I was like on mushrooms, this would be like the greatest thing I had ever seen in a really weird kind of way. One of the things that I talked about last week, because a lot of people were here for Back to the Future, and then it was just John and I last week for Contact. I said that the advantage of doing these sorts of films, with one director is that you get to see a pattern. 1 week, from one director, the next week, the same guy, after that, guy, girl, whatever. And I said that by the time we had gotten to Contact, I said one of the recurring, I don't know if you would exactly call it a theme, but for lack of a better term, let's use that, is that Zemeckis, and we're talking about Robert Zemeckis, very much inserts a sense of wonder into his films. Whether it's a DeLorean that's going 88 miles per hour, or a very determined young girl who hears aliens through a radio broadcast, into this about a young boy who has just reached that age where he no longer believes in Santa anymore. We've all been there. We all get it. Let's start out with John K. Alvarez. What did you think of this film? I mean, introductory thoughts. Had you seen it before? So on and so forth.
I had seen it before, a few times before. And Mike, your initial reaction was mine when I first saw it. After I watched it a second time, because I said I wanted to give it another shot, I started piecing things together. This is different when it comes to a Christmas, for lack of a better term, a Christmas story. Because either you have the full-blown fantasy of Santa or the humor of Santa, or it's the adults trying to keep the thing going. To me, I put this in categories of the same type of stuff of Francis P. Church's response to Virginia O'Hanlon to Yes, Virginia, There is a Santa Claus. You ever read that editorial? You told an 8-year-old girl, yes, Santa is real, she's going to go, okay, and walk away. The rest of that editorial is for adults. This is a children's movie for adults because it meant to what do you do when you get to that point, or if your child gets to that point. It was written by the same guy who wrote Jumanji. And if you look at that movie and if you look at that movie or that book even as a children's book is how they were pushing it, that's taking it to the extreme. This guy had a tendency to do that. If I'm going to say to you, if you watch it again, not this year, but let's say next year, you might start doing some of the stuff that I do. Like I start questioning why the boy did this or why the writer wrote that. And all of a sudden, this time around, because I just finished watching it today, I found myself crying at the end of the movie, like wiping some tears away.
All right.
That loss of, not so much loss of innocence, but innocence that has to now stop. You're growing up type deal.
Casey Jones, you are a first-time viewer like myself. You popped your Polar Express cherry.
Yes.
What did you think?
Well, first, I will mention that before I watched Polar Express, I sat down and watched 1941, my favorite not Christmas music, Christmas movie, written by Zemeckis and featuring Mifune from Seven Samurai. You mentioned him, and he's in there, and it all ties together with the fact that you had what must have been a 55, 60-year-old Eddie Deezen playing an 8-year-old boy. What? Not to mention the fact that I look like that boy, but I'm going to sound like a Grinch when I say this. I was disturbed by watching that movie. I did not have a pleasant viewing experience.
Wait, you're confused. What movie are we talking about now?
Polar Express. I'm bringing it all around. It was a sprawling, unwieldy sort of story, which is typical of Zemeckis, unless someone really powerful helps him edit. And 1941 is the other example of that. This would have been a much better movie if it was edited a little bit different, just like 1941. It's packed with cool things, and I enjoyed the cool things, but overall, it was a little bit too long and a little bit too, scattershot to really hold together. I like the point, the theme of it. The holding up the bell and not hearing the ringing make you cry, break your heart. But this thing was just disturbing. Not to mention, the animation was terrible. There was no expression on anybody's face, and it freaked me out. And this thing won an award in 2006 for the best all motion capture movie. Well, 5 years before, Lord of the Rings was doing stuff with motion capture that blow you away. I don't know why this movie had such bad animation, but the whole thing just added up to I'm not a fan. Not a big fan of this movie.
It had a very, and then we're going to get into some comments, and I want to read a little behind the scenes. It had a very dreamlike quality to it. And I kept thinking either this guy, honest to God, this is what I thought. I said, either the first thing I thought, I was like, this kid is dead. Like he's in the land of the dead. Like that was the impression that I got him. Like he's dead and he doesn't know it. And, he died on Christmas, even though it said at the beginning, when I was a boy, this happened to me. I was like, okay. And then, the idea, am I in a dream? Because we had just covered waking life. So it had that sort of disturbing, kind of unsettling thing that you couldn't put your finger on. And that's why I said Rosemary's Baby. Like nothing is normal, but you're having these conversations and it has this unsettling sort of feel to it. Okay. So hold on a second.
When this came out, was it the era of big 3D? Was this movie?
I'm going to get into that in a minute. We got some comments here real quick from Slasher Fred. What's happening, man? And he says, I think what makes the Polar Express such a very touching story is that it is told from an adult perspective from a childhood memory. Okay. Yeah, that works. Eddie Deezen later became known for voicing Dexter's rival on Dexter's Laboratory. All right. So let's look at some of the Polar Express, directed by Zemeckis, is considered groundbreaking holiday film adapted from Chris Van Allsburg's 1985 children's book. It was the first feature-length film created entirely using performance capture, not just one character, maybe like with Lord of the Rings, an advanced form of motion capture where actors wore suits with sensors on a blank sound stage to record their movements and expressions, which were then animated digitally. This allowed for realistic human performances in a fully CGI world, but contributed to the uncanny valley, quote unquote, effect that some viewers found eerie. Tom Hanks performed motion capture and voiced multiple roles. I thought Tom Hanks was pretty good in this.
He did, I think, 4.
Yeah, the 5 or 6, depending on the source. The hero boy, as an adult performer, scaled to child size. His father, the conductor, the hobo, Santa Claus, and the narrator. Acting opposite himself in scenes required switching roles and using stand-ins. The author insisted the adaptation not be traditional animation, but initially wanted live action. But Zemeckis used performance capture to honor the book's realistic yet magical style, while enabling impossible camera moves and scenes. And when they like that train, when the train just is going down the glacier gulch, you're like, it felt like I was on the train. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's kind of frightening for a children's story that this is, because I'm like, I would just give up. Like, you're going to die. Like, all right, fuck it. We're going to die. That's all there is. The iconic train was modeled after the real-life Père Marquette 1225, a historic steam locomotive in Michigan, which provided sounds and design details. Tragically, actor Michael Jeter, who voiced Stoker and Steamer, passed away during production. His role was partially recast, and the film was dedicated to him. The massive budget, around 165 to 170 million, made it the most expensive animated film at the time, with extensive work by Sony Pictures Imageworks on details like individual hair strands and virtual cinematography. These elements helped pioneer modern motion capture tech seen later in films like Avatar. The film has become a holiday staple despite mixed initial reviews. So there's a bit of what all three of us are saying here. Some people found it eerie. Some people find it touching. I'm pretty sure it was a big success. Hold on a second here. Fred says another iconic holiday movie that is told from an adult perspective from a childhood memory is A Christmas Story, which is a lot less disturbing than this. Yes, we climbed mountains so high it seemed we would scrape the moon. I mean, you really are pushing the parameters of what you can call a children's movie in this. Because it's a little disturbing. If somebody wants to take it from there while I look up the budget numbers.
It's out there. My favorite character was the hobo, and the hobo was straight up scary, dude. I at first I thought it might have been Tom Waits, but when I found out it was actually Hanks doing it, I kind of I thought he was doing a Tom Waits sort of imitation voicing.
And I think they did do the animation to look like Tom Waits because he had that feel.
Yeah.
I mean, this reminds me of like, Willy Wonka. If you saw the Willy Wonka movie with Gene Hackman,
that was scary and disturbing.
There's that scene where he's on the boat and he's all of a sudden going. That's one of the scary, and that's a children's book.
And the Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz is fucking freaky too. I remember they're going down the yellow brick road, and the witch is like, you can see the witch like in the bottom left-hand corner, hiding behind the tree. And I'm like, what the hell kind of thing is this? Or like when the house falls on the Wicked Witch of the East, and you see the feet just sticking out from under there, and I'm like. Are you really showing me this? Like
totally. When I was 4 years old, the flying monkey scared the piss out of me. I think this movie would have done the same if I was 4 years old.
I know a guy who's now a judge in Philadelphia.
You're 74 now, and it's scaring the hell out of you.
Yeah, I know a guy who's a judge in Philadelphia who, to this day, will not watch Wizard of Oz because of the flying monkey scenes, and he's terrified of it. He scared him as a kid. But it's where you take the children's book or the concept of what's a children's book and how far can you take it?
Yeah.
And I think because it was the first time I saw it, I was so much like Michael at that time going, what the hell is this? But I've seen it a couple of times over the years and it really has affected me. Do I think it's the best Christmas movie? No. But it's winning me over more and more.
I'm looking at it says Polar Express had the following box office: domestic U.S. and Canada, 189 million.
So it made its money back.
International, approximately 128 to 130 million. Exact figures slightly by source. Worldwide, 318 to 320 million. So it did show a profit. And probably 100. I'd say you got 100 million out of that easy. Once you subtract marketing and everything like that. So 100 million is not bad. These figures account for the film's strong performance. through repeated theatrical re-releases. Yeah, it's every Christmas it comes around.
Yeah.
Every Christmas it comes around, particularly in IMAX. Oh, man, this must be something to see in IMAX.
Yeah.
Oh,
God,
boy.
yeah.
Including
IMAX
holiday
3D would be
season.
the thing.
Huh?
IMAX 3D would be the thing.
Oh, yeah, particularly in IMAX formats during holiday season, which significantly boosted its long-term earnings beyond the initial run. Reliable sources like IMDb and Wikipedia report the domestic gross precisely at 189.5 million. So leading us to about 320. But I mean, this would be something to see on like IMAX or IMAX 3D. I watched it on I've got a 55-inch 4K, and I was just like, I don't have it in 4K, like 4K disc, but I watched it on Blu-ray, and I'm like, holy shit! I thought the animation was fantastic. I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I thought the animation was beautiful. It did, like I said, have a disturbing, dreamlike quality. Hanks as the conductor was more than a little scary. But let's get into the story a little bit. I mean, basically, we come to the story of a young boy who might be somewhere in the area of 10 or maybe a little bit older, and he's starting to tell his sister that there's no such thing as Santa Claus. He's starting to look up facts and figures and books, and he's kind of annoying that way. But I guess we all were at that point at one point. And suddenly, on Christmas Eve, this giant train just pulls up to his front yard, right in front of his house. And you're kind of off to the races from there. And you've got Tom Hanks as the conductor saying, "Get on, we're going to the North Pole." Very Willy Wonka, very psychedelic. And I mean, he's scared. I thought that one of the interesting things was that, unlike what happens typically in a children's story, where I would think he would hop right on. Oh my God, this is amazing! I get right on, almost like a Toy Story kind of thing. He's scared of Hanks at first. He's like, no, I don't. And Hanks is like, okay, suit yourself, and he just gets on the train and leaves. He hops on after that. Finds that the train is full of children that are headed to the North Pole to meet Santa. I mean, there's an expression in the film where they talk about this is the end of the magic. That magical thing where you just start to become an adult and probably not viewed as the greatest thing, but it had me. I mean, I couldn't stop watching it. I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop. There was a feeling throughout this entire movie that I was just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it kind of does, but not in the way that I thought. Now, I'm kind of glad for it. John, go ahead.
No, I was just sitting there thinking, because when you were showing the picture of Tom Hanks, one of the things they say throughout the whole movie was like what Tom Hanks said to Hero Boy, "You don't have to get on. It's your choice," type deal.
Yeah.
And throughout the whole movie, like when Bob was sitting in the one part of the compartment when they were going to go see Santa, he said, "You don't have to see Santa if you don't want. You have to start making your own choice." I think is another part of this movie. And that's his first choice. Instead of just jumping on and making it the typical kid adventure, he chose to get on. Yeah. And the first thing Tom Hanks said, "Good choice," or type deal, wise decision.
Bob almost misses the train, and that whole scene with him running after the train when he makes his decision too late.
Yeah,
heartbreaking.
Yeah, there's something very tragic about that boy that isn't explained.
Right.
The kid that sits in the back, and I that's what I kept thinking, that somebody is dead here. Like this is like like they're taking him to heaven or something like that, and like heaven is like with Santa or something like that, because he just keeps saying Christmas doesn't work out for him. Christmas really doesn't work out for me, and they never really explain what that means. But
like My dad, when he grew up during the Depression, and this movie reminds me of a Depression film.
Yeah.
He always said when we were kids, we got to put on the Christmas decorations on the tree because he never could. When he grew up during the Depression, they didn't have much.
Right.
So when the boy said Santa skipped my house, to me, I took it as all the adults said they didn't have the money to buy him a gift.
Yeah, I got
yeah.
that impression too because we're just moving all over with this. We're not going to go through this.
Sorry.
No. We're just no. I agree with you because when he gets off the train at the end and he's got that nice house, and he seems more stunned about having a nice house,
right,
than the fact that his gift is waiting, or he's not looking for a gift. He's just stunned. He has this beautiful little small cottage, of a home, and it looks warm and it looks friendly. And yeah, I mean, you get the impression maybe that's what he's talking about Christmas not working out for him. Maybe he's poor, and like his parents don't have something, or, he's got some sort of family situation, but that house looks put together,
Right.
that's what Santa has worked out for him. Hold on. This movie came out the same year as The Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow. I never saw that.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to bring that up as a much, much better example of computer generated animation from the time. I like the set pieces. I like the backgrounds in the movie, but in this movie in Polar Express, but there's no expressions on anyone's face the whole time. Oh, there's something tragic going on, deadpan. There's something funny going on, deadpan. That's part of the thing that freaked me out. The only one that really had any expression on his face seemed to be the hobo.
And that and the know-it-all kid.
Yeah.
The know-it-all
hero
kid.
girl.
Yeah, the hero girl.
The hero girl had expression. She smiled, and
she just kind of had a real because, like, at first when he gets on the train, like she's trying to make eye contact with him, and it's like a small smile that she has. It's not overly expressive.
Yeah.
I won't say that it's dead, but it's not overly expressive.
But cartoonish, ironically.
Yeah, it's not cartoonish. It really does have a dreamlike quality. That's why I kept saying either they're in a dream or someone's dead. And it isn't until you get to the end that you realize this is actually really happening. And you're like,
I was waiting for her face to split apart and the prehensile tongue to go out and grab the kid.
Somebody
Oh,
said,
that's in the extended run.
Yeah,
it's in the director's cut. Somebody said that the thing that put them off or that made them scared, and I can't remember where I heard that recently. It was just in the past couple of days, were the faces. It was the faces that freaked them out. And I kept thinking on the train that they were going to see faces looking out the window, but they were actually talking about the facial expressions of the characters. There have been a lot of Polar Express audio tapes. I wonder how that would play out, without the visuals, just to listen to this story without the visuals.
It was big music in the background. I mean, it's typical Zemeckis. You got a lot of orchestration, a lot of big music signaling big happenings in the movie.
Especially when they get to the North Pole.
Yeah.
The North Pole. This movie runs a little over 90 minutes. I think it's 97 minutes in total. So you subtract 5 minutes of credits, you got about 90 minutes. And it works in, about 3 acts, the third act, they go to the North Pole and then come home. But the North Pole, a lot of bombastic, Christmas caroling, and, all these different sorts of things happening. Yeah. That's an interesting part. Hold on. The part where the young boy reaches in his pocket to show his friends the bell. But that got me. When he reaches into his pocket to show him the bell, and there's a hole in his bathrobe. I was like, oh, that's just, and they're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Even the one know-it-all boy's like, that sucks. That's,
And there's nothing else we can say. He goes, no, I'm sorry.
The Beatles joke from Yellow Submarine.
I never saw Yellow Submarine. I don't like the Beatles.
I can't refer to anything. He's got a hole in me pocket.
Yeah, I don't like the Beatles.
I remember that. That's all right. That's all right, Casey.
10 years prior to this movie, in Forrest Gump, while sitting on a park bench, is telling a story about going as a child to an adult. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it's not an unenjoyable film. It just, I think I'm not going to go back to the thrift shop and hand them, I want my $2 back. But I'd be curious to watch it a second time, especially now that I own it, and to see, like John says, what the experience would be like.
Probably watch it again if it came on the tube.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure it's going to be one of those films that comes around every Christmas.
As long as they don't do 24 hours of Polar Express like they did with Christmas Story, I'll be okay.
Well, I think they did once. No joke intended. I think one of the stations did it once.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. When
I worked at the movie theater, they also showed it every Christmas. One of the theaters would put it up and just show it on, one of the bigger screens.
It's definitely got an audience of younger kids. All my students know about it, and they all like it.
Do they?
It was big for them, yeah. Which is the intended audience, I guess. Kids who are
we might not be intended. We might be too old.
Yeah.
When we first caught on to it.
I mean, speak for yourself. I can hear the bell, just not on this movie.
Dude, I hear the bell without the bell in my hand.
All right, so here's some of the. I said the film is notably divisive. Critics often found it visually innovative but flawed, while audiences, especially families, embrace it as a holiday staple. 56% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critics, but 64% with the audience score, with many calling it heartfelt classics. IMDb 6.6 out of 10, with over 265,000 user ratings. Metacritic gives it 61 out of 100, with mixed reviews. So common praise, groundbreaking motion capture animation, pioneering for its time, stunning visuals, thrilling train sequences, heartwarming Christmas spirit, which is true. We didn't even get into that. Themes of belief and wonder with Alan Silvestri's memorable score, like Bill said, including songs like Believe and Hot Chocolate. Tom Hanks' versatile performance and its status as an annual family tradition for many. Common criticisms, uncanny valley effect with lifeless eyes and wooden expressions on human characters. Overly sentimental or cheesy plot. I didn't think so. Padded story, Bill said that a little bit. And intense, scary moments, exactly roller coaster-like train rides that frighten younger kids. Yeah, I wouldn't take a small kid to see this.
Yeah, that would be scary for them, especially if they did it in 3D.
Yeah.
This came out in the era of big 3D, and a lot of those scenes seem to be extra long just for the visuals. Even if it's not something where you're wearing glasses and getting totally into it, it's still, like you said, to see it on the IMAX, it would take you right down the gulch. It would take you like it seemed like forever we were following the golden ticket as it was floating over the train and into the vent, and I was just like, let's go. I get it.
I got to disagree. I love that sequence. I was just I'm like, what the fuck is happening with this ticket? I had to see where it was going to go. Like, it goes out the window, and I'm like, oh shit, because like I've already got this uncanny feeling, and so I'm like, maybe that kid is right, and Tom Hanks is going to throw that girl off the back of the train. I'm like, holy shit!
I wouldn't be surprised.
I swear to God, I'm like, holy shit! This is a fucking horror movie. I'm like, I didn't know. So like when that ticket went out the window, I'm like, holy shit! And then like I see the birds get it. And it works its way back, and I'm like, this is fucking. I thought that was amazing. I thought that was really cool, actually. I genuinely did. Hold on a second.
I thought the steam engine scene was really good, where they're trying to put the pin back in. That was really good.
Yeah, I thought it was great when they were on the ice. And they're trying to, get back on the track. And he's like, a little bit left, a little bit right. And he's trying to line it up for, I thought that was great. Hold on. So a little more criticism. Some thrilling action feels disconnected from the simple source material. Roger Ebert noted, quote, it's creepy in a sneaky way, end quote, charm, and predicted it would become a perennial classic. Many parents on Common Sense Media warn it's better for ages 6+ due to potentially scary scenes.
Yeah.
Overall, it's a polarizing holiday film. Critics lean mixed, but it has endured popularity as a nostalgic, magical watch during Christmas, often rewatchable despite flaws. So, I mean, we're talking 21 years. So yeah, I mean, this didn't drop like in 2020 or something like that. 21 years. It's going to be always. I think we're always going to see it on, HBO. We're always going to see it on Disney. You'll be seeing it at Christmas. I own a copy for $2. Probably next Christmas, I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Just to see what happens.
It's definitely got
it's not the only
Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas.
Well, and it's technically not the only scary Christmas story. I mean, look at Christmas Carol by Dickens.
Oh, of course.
I mean, you ever watch some of the versions of they do there with,
all of
especially when it goes to Christmas present, pulling out ignorance and want from under his coat.
No. What always scares me with that is Marley. Jacob Marley. With all that screaming, he just starts screaming at him in the middle of his bedroom, like, holy shit.
And he goes to Christmas Future, showing him the grave. I mean, there are some very traumatic moments in stories, classic stories like that, and it's the redemption they have at the end of this kid finding his belief again.
I don't know that
it's what makes
intended that for 6-year-olds, though.
You never know, man. Back in 1848, or 42, when it first came out, a 6-year-old kid wouldn't pick it up, but an 8-year-old.
I mean, you think of the Grimm's fairy tales and how fucking graphic and those things are awful to read if you actually read them. All the things that happened and this, that, and the other. I thought it was great also that the kid on the naughty list was from Maplewood, New Jersey.
I laughed out loud at that. I finally caught that this year.
I thought that was
great. He's close. But
that's
Jersey, next week.
That's it. Jersey Strong. He's he goes right on. He goes right on the check it twice list for next year.
I laughed out loud at that.
But
it wasn't me. I didn't do it.
Yeah. It wasn't me. It just keeps repeating the same thing. It wasn't me. I didn't do it. It wasn't me. That was great. It does have the criticism says it. The critique says it has a theme of belief. Yeah. If you're willing to believe, then in a little bit of magic, in the world, then I think that life can be more pleasant. It doesn't always be like we talked about this many times, maybe on the texting group or maybe on social media. Like you remember how the old McDonald's used to look with bright colors and oranges and reds, and yellow, and now they look like some sort of North Korean brick building, and you're like, that does not look like fun.
Yep,
exactly.
It just doesn't like you used to see.
Same with Wendy's, man.
Yeah, you wanted to go on the playground, and they had a playground at McDonald's. Remember those? You could go down the slide, and it was it was like a full-on thing. And now you're just like,
yeah.
You need. I think we all need things to believe in. And things that can be fun and things that can be exciting, and maybe it's different for everybody. There's some commonalities. We're talking about here. We've been doing it for about 5 years. But you need something. You need something to believe in. It can't be all zeros and ones because this is the season. This is the Christmas season, and if ever there was time for belief, and what Christmas is really about, I mean, I thought it was nice that Zemeckis did tie in a little belief there, and I was thinking that some of the shows that I want to watch. We've got 8 days till Christmas. Christmas Day is in 8 days. We haven't missed it. Like Scrooge says when he leans out the window.
Exactly.
Of
course they can.
There are so many things I still want to watch, and I was disappointed. A lot of them aren't streaming. I wanted to watch Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's not streaming anywhere. I wanted to watch Santa Claus Was Coming to Town. It's not streaming anywhere.
Why would it be?
Maybe I can find a copy on YouTube. Maybe some kind soul has uploaded a copy. But what I want to watch this year, and it just occurred to me as I was watching this, as we talk about belief and Santa and all these different things. Does anybody remember that old? I don't remember if it was Rankin Bass or not. I don't think it was. Remember, 'Twas the Night Before Christmas.
And all through the house.
With the mouse,
The old 30-minute cartoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rankin Bass. Yeah.
Where they come
With the
down,
mice.
they see Santa. He's like putting stuff in the stocking, and he just turns around, and he's big and
Right.
fat, and jolly, and friendly,
Yeah.
and that's what I want to watch this year. I'm going to pick a Scrooge, like I said. I'll probably watch The Holdovers. I'm in the middle of Harry Potter, but that'll probably stretch through to New Year's. But yeah, I want to see 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which probably, if I find it on YouTube or something like that, will last about 20 minutes. Once you remove the advertisements. And they're about belief. That was definitely about belief. That one.
Yeah. I mean, the guy stamped "believe" on the golden ticket for one of them. It's definitely like,
and he did it without looking.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that got me. He did it without looking. That
Has
whole
he
bit
done
with
it so
flipping
many
the ticket,
times?
but that was the one was behind his back, and I'm going, and he goes, "A good word to live by," and I'm going, exactly.
Absolutely. Hold on a second. I'm just looking up something here real quick. All right. Hold on a second. What else do we got here? Yeah, I mean that's been. I was just looking up something real quick for the rating, but was that Aerosmith at the North Pole?
Yes,
that was Steven Tyler. Yes.
Yeah, that was great. That was great. And we've been talking about Aerosmith from Dazed and Confused.
Right.
That definitely made you want to listen to some Aerosmith. One of the few concerts I never got a chance to get to. I've always wanted to go to an Aerosmith concert, and now they've retired. Because that was the big event in the summer. At the end of the movie, they drive off into the sunrise, going to get those Aerosmith tickets. Priority in the summer. Yeah, that was great. Like it says in the movie, the true spirit of Christmas lies in your heart, man. So, I want to say this right here to you guys. I love you guys. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, Michael.
It's been almost 40 years, and here we still are. Where's the time gone? If you thought that it was just July, by that measure, it was just 1988.
Yeah,
right.
I don't exactly remember, but Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas. God bless you.
And Casey Jones, if you see Bill, tell him I said Merry Christmas.
You got it.
All right, hold on. We got a final couple comments, and then we're going to start to wrap it up here. It said, in the movie Big, we see Tom Hanks playing a 30-something version of Josh Baskin.
Sure.
It really is a lesson of how one should not grow up so fast.
Indeed.
We talked about this, John. When I first saw that movie, I didn't want him to go back.
Yeah.
You wanted him to stay big, and then I look at it now, and I'm like, he has to.
Yeah, he had to go back.
Yeah, I remember when Wendy's used to have a salad bar. Yeah. All right.
Me too.
The original, A Year Without a Santa Claus. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So get yourselves some Christmas originals. Sure. This is a good movie. We're going to talk about it, and we're going to get to the rating system in a minute. But make sure that you, catch some of those old classics. All right. Go ahead, John.
No, go ahead, Mike. No, go ahead. I'll wait till later.
No. Go, please.
We're talking about movies. In the 1990s, NBC Studios did Yes, Virginia, There Is a Santa Claus with Charles Bronson playing Francis P. Church, and he recites the Yes, Virginia, There Is, and he's brilliant in it.
Okay.
But the way he plays it was that Francis P. Church lost a son. So when he was writing the letter, he was writing what he would write to his son. Bronson reads it, and you're like, "Oh my God, this is not sudden impact or death? What? Who was he? Death? Whatever. This is not him." He was charming in it.
Okay,
you can find that one from like 1992, something like that. It's a really good version.
Okay,
of the movie. And the guy who plays John Boy Walton.
Oh, Richard Thomas.
He plays Virginia's father, who says, "Well, if you see it in the sun, it's so."
Okay.
Type deal. Yeah.
All right. All right. All right. Is there anything about this film that we have not discussed that either of you would like to address? A point, a theme, a particular scene? Did it have a satisfying? Let me ask. Did it have a satisfying ending for you?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought it stuck the landing well. I thought it
Yeah.
stuck the landing well. I did.
I do have to admit, because the first time I saw it, I found the musical numbers annoying. I don't know why. I did. But each year that I saw it, I find myself enjoying it more. When I started off drinking out of my official Westgate May Christmas Parade mug, I was drinking hot chocolate from Wawa.
John, there's no product.
I was keeping it hot.
Show.
But that's the point. I was like, I started really getting into the music more, especially this time around.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, I mean, I'm going to offer up, what I've got for next year, 12 months from now when I see it again for the second time. All right. Let's get to the part in the stream where we rate the film. This channel has a rating system that goes from 0 to 5 up by halves. So 0, 0.5, 1, 1.5, all the way to 5. So 0, for example, would be, I'd rather have a hot Christmas with no snow than watch this movie again, all the way to 5, which is, this is the journey, this is the destination, this is why I watch films in the first place. John K. Alvarez, or Johnny Santa, as the ladies might call him, what would you give Robert Zemeckis' The Polar Express?
Boy, I really do wish we could rate this on a scale. I can keep moving. I'm giving it a 4.5.
Okay.
Okay. I'm giving it a 4.5 from this year. If you asked me the first year I saw it, I would have given it a 2. But it's won me over to a 4.5 type deal.
Okay. Okay. Casey Jones, what do you got for us?
Not my favorite Christmas movie. Not the worst thing I've ever seen. I've seen some of the worst things ever, and this is not one of the worst things ever. So I will give it a 3.5. I'll watch it again if I come across it on the tube, but I'm not going to go out and buy the DVD. Yeah.
I last Friday happened to be in Cape May County. John, I'm sorry we couldn't connect, but I was strictly working. But I had a small break where I stopped off for lunch at a diner, and then I was in Rio Grande to do something, and I saw the arc of Cape May County, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute, they're a thrift store. I have an extra 20 minutes to kill. I could go in there and make a run and grab some, see if they have some movies. And I thought it was Providence. That one of the first things that I saw was, this movie. I ended up picking up a stack. And the only thing that the guy commented on when I checked out was this, saying that guy could drive anything. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what that means. I told him I'd never seen it before, and that, we were covering it on my YouTube channel, and so he didn't give away any spoilers. I'm going to go with a 4. I think this is a solid piece of entertainment. It has a very unsettling feeling, and I put that in the notes. This is somewhere between Willy Wonka and Rosemary's Baby. It has that unsettling feeling. But when you realize that what you're watching is actually happening and that there is really no other shoe to drop, I found it to be very enjoyable. I found it to be heartfelt. I like the animation. I do agree with Bill that, that was a little unsettling as well, but it's not a bad movie in any stretch of the imagination.
Yep.
And for the visuals, I mean, it completely took me along for the ride. So glad to have watched it. Glad I own a copy. I will be watching it again next year for Christmas, just out of curiosity to see what a second view looks like. So we're between 3.5 and 4.5. So we're all in the ballpark.
Mm-hmm.
All right. John K. Alvarez, plug something.
Peace on earth, goodwill to everyone.
Amen. God bless us, everyone.
God bless us, everyone.
That's it. Casey Jones, what do you got for us?
I might have something. Definitely check out my radio show on WMCX 88.9 FM out of West Long Branch. So if you're on the Jersey Shore in Monmouth County, tune in on the FM radio. If not, WMCX This Tuesday, doing all Christmas, Tuesday the 30th. It's all jam bands in celebration of the new year. And my last show will be January 6th, which could be a grab bag of just about anything. But tune in, The Neverlasting Gobstopper on WMCX 88.9 FM, please.
Was that WMCX.com?
WMCX.com.
WMCX.com. You heard it here. All right, WNBC.
Yeah, so 5 to 8, Tuesday, all Christmas music.
All right. I'm enjoying that right now at the office. I'm pulling up, Charlie Brown Christmas and James Brown's Funky Christmas, and
there you go.
Some, just some general Christmas, like Christmas piano. Like if I've got work to do, I can put on like some mellow, Christmas tunes or something like that. I think the next thing is just going to be just plain old. Like today, I typed in Christmas piano. Just for something low key, but I think tomorrow is just going to be regular Christmas carols, and let's get it going. I got the lights going here in the house, so it's a good thing. For this channel, this will be the last show of 2025. That's it. We're done for the year. We're going to be enjoying Christmas and then New Year's, and so we will be back in 2026. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can pull up a calendar real quick because. We could be gone for about 2 weeks, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, next week is Christmas.
And then the week after that is New Year's, so we're not going to be doing anything for those. So
about 3 weeks.
So, yeah, we'll be back in, 3 weeks. We'll be back in 3 weeks. It looks like January 7th. And now and then,
the director.
TBD. I've got, like I said, I've got about 50 directors.
His work.
Yeah, exactly. A favorite of mine as well. But I've got about 50 directors on the list. I just haven't thought about it. We talked about one or two before we went on. We'll see how it plays. We will be here January 7th. So my thanks to John K. Alvarez, who's been here since probably episode 8. My thanks to Casey Jones, who's been here since episode 2. We will see you all in the next video. A Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year. God bless you. And we will see you in the next one.
Goodbye.